Hi guys, Shane here from the Wilderness Field Journal. Today I'm here to bring you a quick tip on how to baton a piece of wood. If you've never heard of batoning a piece of firewood before, it's a very useful skill, so stick around and I'll show you how it's done. Basically, batoning a log means to split the log with a knife by driving it through with a baton. You can't do this with just any knife. You're going to need a big, heavy-duty, full-tang knife like this Pathfinder Camp King. With a knife this big and this thick, you can literally beat it through the log with a baton or another log that you swing and hit the back of the knife. You can see the stress that would put on your knife, so you really want to make sure you have a high-quality, durable knife. This is an easy way to break a cheap knife by doing this. You might be asking, well, why would you want to do that? What's the advantage of batoning a log? Most people, when they go to split a log, would think about using an axe or a hatchet or a splitting maul, which you could certainly do that, and it works really well. But the advantage of doing a baton instead of splitting with an axe is because when you split with an axe, you're swinging the tool. And typically I wouldn't be holding the log, but by swinging the tool, you have the chance to miss, you have the chance to hit your leg. There's a lot of dangerous things that can happen. Also, you have a lack of accuracy because you have to aim for the specific spot where you're trying to split it. When you split by batoning, you place the knife exactly where you want it, and then you baton and take your time going through it. So no matter what, you always have the knife under control, and what you're swinging is just a blunt object. So, I mean, you could hurt yourself with a baton, but far less likely than with an axe head. To baton a piece of wood, you're going to need two wood processing tools. First of all, you're going to need a saw of some kind. For today, I'm just going to be using a small bow saw. You're also going to need a large, sturdy knife. A lot of survival knives would work well for this. The characteristics you're looking for is you want something that's full tang, where the blade goes all the way into the handle. You want something that's fairly thick because you're going to be using it as a wedge. And you want something that's fairly strong because you're going to be putting it through a lot of abuse to baton a piece of wood with it. You're also going to need a baton. This doesn't need to be anything special. It can just be a piece of wood that's fairly big and sturdy and has some weight to it, so you can use it as a mallet. The first step to batoning a log is you have to cut it. You want to cut your log flat on both sides, perpendicular to the grain of the wood. That's what you're looking for. For the next step, I'm going to use my Pathfinder Camp King knife, and I'm going to go ahead and baton it. So when you set up to baton, you want to take a look at the grain of the wood. Sometimes you can see a little crack in there somewhere that makes an easy place to start. I don't see anything like that, so I'm just going to go full on and try and split it right down the middle. You want to have a good grip on your knife when you're doing this. You don't want it to fly off to the side or lose control of it. And then you take another log. This is a piece of the log that I cut this one from, and just kind of start pounding it through. Now, if you ever reach a point where you can't hit it anymore because it's buried in the piece of wood, then you can come out and start hitting the tip here. There you go. That's how you do it. And you can keep splitting this down over and over again until you get ever smaller pieces. What's great about this is if you don't have any kindling to start your fire and everything's wet, like on a snowy day like today, you can make your own kindling out of the center dry wood in the middle of a log. And you could never really do this by swinging an axe. And you can make perfectly dry pieces of kindling. Another thing with batoning is, let's say I want to use this as a plate or a cutting board or something. I can line up my knife so that I'm splitting just a slab off of it. Yet again, you want a really strong knife if you're beating on the tip of it with a log. But look what I ended up with. I have a nice flat piece of wood. Now you could use that for a baseboard, for starting a bow drill fire. You could use that as a plate. You could use it as a cutting board. You could do all kinds of different things with this, especially if you start carving into it. And that's how you baton a piece of firewood. Always remember, when working with fire processing tools like axes and knives and saws, to be careful and use your own judgment when it comes to safety. It's a useful skill to have. Hopefully you found this video helpful, and I'm going to be trying to bring you guys some more of these instructional and how-to videos. Until the next time, have a great day. See you later.